Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood for YouTube. I'm here to do a video for you guys and gals. What should they do with the Monroeville Mall? Now, for those who don't know or don't know me personally, I am from Western Pennsylvania. I was born and raised in Western Pennsylvania. Um, and when I was a kid, when I was very little, my parents, we would drive 40. Now, keep in mind, there were two malls, and there were malls in Fayette County, the county I live in. Monroeville is not Fayette County. Monroeville Mall is a 45-minute drive from where I live. Um, so you would go to the Monroeville Mall, and what a beautiful mall it was. I had been in a not just inside the mall as a small boy, but as a teenager, and it was a very very beautiful place. Um, they used to hold a bunch of stuff there. Um, I remember EB Games was in there. They had a Disney store in there. Disney um, arcade. I'm sure we all remember our trips to the arcade. I know I do, and they were a lot of fun. And there's talk of them. Are they going to tear it down? And my hope is that they don't. This place doesn't just have special meaning for me, it has special meaning for a lot of Pennsylvania natives. And it's not just going there and visiting there. That place was one of the most happening places you could go. Um, it was a large mall, still is, I should say, not was. It still is. It just doesn't have stores in it. Excuse me. But what it's most famous for is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native the late great George A. Romero, filming his movie Dawn of the Dead in that mall. And this caused the mall to get heavy exposure, and malls in general, because when George Romero, you got to keep in mind, when George made this movie, malls were just becoming a thing. So think about that. When George A. Romero initially made Dawn of the Dead, malls were just becoming a thing. And now malls are all but non-existent, which is insane. What should they do with the Monroeville Mall? They being Sam's/Walmart. I don't know if my video will be flagged for mentioning them. I hope it isn't, because they have ownership of it. My hope is that they preserve it. It does need fixed up. I mean, don't get me wrong. Should they turn it into a landmark? I think they should, in a sense, but have stores in it that are horror theme related while keeping the Dawn of the Dead tour going through there. The place has such a special meaning to not just horror fans, but Pennsylvania natives who, when they see the place, your thought, when you trust me, when you see if you ever have been to the Monroeville Mall, you know this. When you drive up to that mall, when you see it from the road, your first thought is of the movie. Hand to God. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I went there thinking about George A. Romero's movie. And then when you go inside the place, you really get a feel for the film. Even, again, no, I never went on a tour of when they did the Dawn of the Dead tours. But really, you didn't have to go on the Dawn of the Dead tours to know where they filmed. When you saw it, you knew. You just knew the specific locations in that mall. You knew, and even when all the stores were in there and happening and running, and you just knew that place was special. And still today, it is, and it still can be if the owners, Sam's Club / Walmart. Let it be. Again, it's not up to me. It's not up to fans. It's not up to the viewing public. It's up to them. And, if you have any kind of sentimentality, you'll do something with the mall that will make the late, great George A. Romero and the Pennsylvania natives proud and horror fans proud. Because if that, to me, in my opinion, if the Monroeville Mall just gets tore down, like if they decide to tear this down, to me, you are spitting on history. Not just a film, but of the memories of that place that you will have, that you've always had. And to me, you will be spitting on George A. Romero's legacy, in my opinion. Just speaking as a Pennsylvania native, I can't imagine that place being tore down. You understand? As a native, I can't imagine it being gone. I just can't. But my hope is that they restore it, they fix it up, and they put stores in there and keep the Dawn of the Dead tours going. Don't change the look of the mall, because trust me, if you ever get to go in there, if they do keep it the way it is and restore it at the same time, fix it up, because it does need fixed up. When you go in there, you will know exactly where George A. Romero filmed what part in that mall. It is not hard to spot. It's very, very easy to spot it. Okay? And if you ever get to go in there if they fix this up, it is a very beautiful mall inside, not just outside. It's like, how do I describe it for somebody who's never been there? Imagine when somewhere you go that isn't your house, that's a certain location that means something to you, that means something to your community. When you see it, it means something to you, and you never want it to go away, no matter what. That's how I would describe the Monroeville Mall, in my opinion. I hope you enjoy this video. I will leave a link in the description box to the Bloody Disgusting article. I'll try to find it at least in the description box. You folks have a nice day.